This is the Commissioner meeting of May 12th, 2021 at 6 p.m., Sussex County Community College Performing Arts Center in Newton, New Jersey. Regular business. I'd like to call the meeting to order and a roll call, please.
Commissioner Carney?
Here.
Director Fantasia?
Here.
Commissioner Fasano?
Here.
Commissioner Patillo?
Here.
Commissioner Yardley?
Here.
At this time, if you would please join me in a moment of silence, and we are going to recognize, being that this is National Police Week from May 9th through the 15th, we would like our moment of silence to be dedicated to recognize those who lost their lives in the line of duty. And please join me also in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Number 4 is the public statement. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail and email, such notice being submitted on May 5th, 2021, from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: New Jersey Herald, Star Ledger, WSUS Radio, and WNNJ Radio, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for public announcements, and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. Number 5, approval of the agenda. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Item number 17 on the personnel agenda has been amended. Also, there is another position on the personnel agenda that does not indicate a salary, and that item is the secretary for the administrator. So I ask that number 17, that's amended, and also that we table that appointment for this meeting to be voted on at our next meeting. So I will need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nay? Pass. Number 6, proclamations, certificates, and presentations. I need a motion to approve the following proclamations, A and B.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Pass. So Proclamation A recognizes May as Older Americans Month, accepting are Lorraine Hentz from Senior Services and Joan Shaw from the Senior Services Advisory Council. And I'd like to invite Commissioner Patillo to please read and present that.
Do you want me to go up there?
Sure.
With this on? I know what to do.
I would stay a distance then. I would stay there then.
Try to speak over.
Another person.
Oh, wonderful.
Eileen Francis from
Welcome, Eileen Francis. Welcome.
Come around.
Fabulous.
Crashing the party.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
That's funny. That's a happy one. I'm going to keep my distance.
Whereas Sussex County includes a growing number of older Americans who have built resilience and strength over their lives through successes and difficulties. And whereas Sussex County benefits when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds are included and encouraged to share their successes and stories of resilience. And whereas Sussex opportunities to share stories and learn from each other, engaging older adults through education, recreation, and service, and encouraging people of all ages to celebrate connections and resilience. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Chosen Commissioners of the County of Sussex does hereby proclaim the month of May 2021 to be Older Americans Month. We urge every resident to recognize older adults and the people who support them as essential members of our community. Now normally we would all be at Selective Insurance and we'd be eating our breakfast and waiting to have all these wonderful different programs and activities set up for our older Americans, and we get a chance to speak. So I wrote a little something. Older Americans Month reminds us to recognize older Americans as strong and vibrant members of our community. Because of the historical knowledge and wisdom they have developed over the years, they are a wonderful resource for all of us. Their stories are fascinating and can bring you to tears or uncontrolled laughter. But wisdom and storytelling aren't the only things that older
Thanks for coming. Thank you.
And next, we have B, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Accepting are Cindy Armstrong from Human Services and Gary Kramer from the county's Mental Health Board. Now, it was suggested we have the public speaking microphone over there. Might be a little better if it's done from there, and then any words so the public can adequately hear, and it's recorded.
I didn't even see that.
Gary, how are you? Good, good to see you. All right, let's read this. Let's get this over. Hey. All right. So I'm going to read the proclamation, and the proclamation reads, quote, "Whereas mental health is an essential part of overall health and well-being, and whereas mental health is defined by the World Health Organization as a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or own potential, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively, and is able to make a contribution to her or his community. And whereas mental illness is a leading cause of suffering and disability that is exacerbated by stigma and discrimination. And whereas 1 in 6 youth aged 6 to 17 years, for 1 in 5 individuals aged 18 and over, will experience a diagnosable mental health disorder each year. And whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has led to increases in anxiety and depression, substance abuse, trauma, grief, and loneliness. And whereas a large proportion of individuals with mental illness have co-occurring substance abuse, as well as health conditions, and suffer disparities that significantly shorten their lifespans and diminish their quality of life. And whereas the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners adopted the Campaign to Change Direction in 2017, which is a national model to reduce stigma and change the culture of mental health so that all those in need receive the care and support that they deserve. The campaign encourages the inclusion of mental health into overall health, pledge to know the 5 symptoms of emotional suffering, and support others to reach out for help when needed. And whereas the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners hereby agrees to work collectively with the Mental Health Board in order to improve the quality and availability of services to the mentally ill and reduce stigma associated with mental illness. Now therefore be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Sussex County Mental Health Board, the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners hereby officially designates May 2021 as Mental Health Month in Sussex County. Certified as a true copy of resolution adopted May 12, 2021 by the order of the Board of Chosen Commissioners, Dawn Fantasia, Commissioner Director, Anthony Fasano, Deputy Commissioner, Sylvia Patillo, Herb Yardley, and Chris Carney as Commissioners. And this resolution, especially now, in this time in 2021, is crucial. And I'm so appreciative of the work that you guys are doing and bringing attention to this. This has to be an issue that we address head-on this year in a pandemic, and I'm appreciative of you guys helping us to do that. So would you guys like to say anything?
I just brought some brochures and bookmarks regarding the Change Direction campaign. If you want to share them, we have more.
Okay.
And just agree that, mental health issues are just going to continue as we start to come out of the pandemic. It's certainly not going to go away. They're just going to increase. And just ask everyone to please support mental health. And we do need board members for the Mental Health Board. So
Step up to the microphone.
If anyone is interested in being on the Mental Health Board, we are looking for members. So my information and contact is on the back of those brochures if anyone's interested.
We, on the Mental Health Board, appreciate the recognition from the Board of Commissioners, and we're pleased and honored to be of service.
Thank you both very much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Could I just say a couple things? First of all, I want to let you know that I personally appreciated the work you do as well as the board does. This board goes back to 2017, and I was not on it. It has always recognized mental health and promoted it and supported it. In 2017, Dr. Sarnas appeared before the Freeholder Board. I was in the audience at the time, and the board members shared many of the problems that they've had in their families. It was a moving moment, and I don't know if anyone remembers that or that was there, but it was very moving. You remember that?
Yes,
It was a moving night. It showed the real need for mental health, not just in Sussex County, but throughout the state. It is very difficult right now for people to get help. There's a waiting list, and that is very unfortunate. And I just wanted to say again that appreciate the work you do. I support mental health. I support the funding of mental health. I think it's very important for people because sometimes you end up in that dark place, and it takes somebody to help you get out of there. So thank you for volunteering your time.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for being here. And this is your official proclamation as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Fasano. Maybe Terry, for the public, if, prior to the end of the meeting, if we can make those pamphlets available for anyone in the audience that may be interested, yes. That would be wonderful. They'll be out on the front table, so anybody will have access to them. Thank you again. We are now on to number 7, which are the public hearings. There are none. Number 8 is the public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make comment of 3 minutes or less regarding an agenda item. Please line up at the microphone and maintain 6 feet social distance with other attendees. Please state your name and municipality for the record, and please identify the agenda topic you are speaking about. So I need a motion to open the floor for public comments.
I'll make
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the floor is open for public comment on agenda items.
John Connolly, Newton, New Jersey. And it's not exactly an agenda item, it's just the entire meeting. This is here just simply as the president, Sussex County Community College, to welcome the county commissioners here for this meeting, this face-to-face venue. It's one of those times during COVID where we have all suffered in terms of communication, in terms of goodwill, in terms of effectiveness, because we have been doing so much of our work by distance. So this is a really great thing, I think, having you folks here. We welcome you and hope that every meeting that you folks have here will be productive and exactly as you folks would like it. Welcome.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. I would like to say while the college president is here, we've been trying to, host our meetings here. We were mindful of the space limitations in our regular meeting headquarters. We were informed that we were not able to hold meetings live in person and still accept members of the public. Our capacity for that room became 9, and as you can tell, there are 5 of us. We have our clerk, our attorney, our administrator, which then would mean no members of the public would be able to attend if you take into consideration the individual that does the audio recording for us. So in looking to find a space, we needed a reliable space that would be available to us on a consistent basis and that we were able to space adequately and we would not conflict with what the space was being used for. We really appreciate it, and I think it's very timely because if you're watching the state reports, you know the weekly report that comes out, the CLI report, you know that infection rates are down. I can say in yesterday's report from the county, we had a record low for months now of 14 new cases only in the county were reported as of yesterday for that day. So that really is quite a milestone for us. New Jersey is opening up, and we appreciate your graciousness and your willingness to work with us. And again, if we ever are not able to use this space, there are a couple meetings where there may be conflicts during the day. We will give ample notice, but we initially had said yes, we were going to go remote for meetings in November. And we pulled that back today because for all we know in November, we may be able to occupy our home territory, our traditional territory in November. We don't know what's coming. So instead of saying that, with 100% certainty, we do know we won't be in this facility for that meeting because the college is using it for those 3 meeting times. We are hopeful that perhaps we'll be able to be at our home base at that time. So that is where we're at. We're thrilled to be here in person, and we're very, very grateful. Your staff has been phenomenal. John, we thank the Board of Trustees for hosting us here. Appreciate it. Is there any other member of the public that wishes to speak this evening on an agenda item? Okay, seeing nobody come forward, I would need a motion to close the floor for public comment on agenda items.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, the floor is closed to the public. Next is number 9, Commissioners' comments, and we're going to begin with Commissioner Carney.
Thank you, Director. I would like to also thank Mr. Connolly for letting us use this facility. This is my first meeting as a commissioner, my 7th meeting, first time live with all you guys. So this is different for me. I'm happy about it. It's a lot better than being on the phone, talking over each other when we do sometimes. So very happy about that. So I'll start with my SCUMA report. We will have our second of 4 electronic waste expos, May 22nd. From 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is computers, hard drives, TVs, etc. like that. No appliances. Don't bring your appliances there. They're not going to let you drop them off. Any more info, you can go to their website or call. There's a number there you can call. It's a good event. It worked out very well the last time, and we'll have 2 more events after that throughout this summer. We have a construction update, 6B. The new cell that they're working on, they started that. The clearing has begun. That is a 3-year project, and that's going to open up the landfill. I believe it'll open it up till about 2066. Not sure if I'll see that, but anyway, that's what they're doing over there, which is good stuff. Moving on to my engineering report. For the fiscal year 2021, we did get a grant to fund local bridges. This is our local bridges fund program grant. Fiscal year 2020 LBF, annual state aid to county grant, specifically for bridges. Funds are first and foremost directed to structurally deficient bridges. Sussex County received a notice of award on April 30th, 2021. That will receive a total allotment of $1,564,139 towards 3 projects. First being $200,000 towards replacement. I'm just going to take this off. $200,000 towards replacement of Bridge X57. That's carrying Oil City Road over a branch of Walk Hill River in Wantage. The current status on that is just design. $900,000 towards rehabilitation of Bridge X43. That's County Route 643, also known as Unionville Road over Clovebrook in Wantage. Preliminary investigation pending design and existing conditions survey. $469,139 toward the replacement of Bridge L-04. That's going over County Route 663, also known as Wabassi Junction Road over the Paulinskill River in Lafayette. Funds for this program are made available through the NJ Transportation Trust Fund. So money's coming back to us, which is nice. That's your gas tax. If you guys don't know what that is, it's coming back to Sussex, which is always nice to see. Especially we have over 400 bridges in the county, and it's nice to see them getting done. These funds represent a portion of the cost of the project. Additional grants and county capital will be used to fully fund the identified projects. Moving on to Farmland, we have Farmland Monitoring Program. This money comes from open space funds that the county is in favor of, which was on a referendum years ago. Pursuant to the requirements of the Farmland Preservation Program, the county must monitor each year 192 farms through the county. The annual inspection cycle is dependent upon funding source, county and or state, but generally begins in March and runs through November. Farms that include state funds must be completed by June 30th, which is a big task. As of right now, about 60 plus or minus 30, that's 30% of the annual inspections have been completed to date. Final monitoring reports are submitted to State Agricultural Development Committee. And just one more topic I'd like to touch on, something I've been reading, something I believe in, and I know that our District 24 elected officials are doing their jobs. So I'd like to express my support for District 24's election integrity bill package. I'm not sure if everybody read that, but it's a very good package. It was well done. I'm not against mail-in voting at all. I think we need to have that because I know there's a lot of circumstances when they're not able to get to the polls on any particular day. Maybe it's work-related, maybe they're out of town. When I was mayor of Frankfurt, we passed a resolution against the idea of exclusive mail-in voting. if I can get in a Lowe's and Home Depot, why can't I go and vote? To me, it's very disturbing. Voting in person for those who opt out into it helps to preserve election integrity and worries people have about their ballots. I'm also not against the idea of early in-person voting for those people who have a need to get there early for any reason, whether it's because of their schedule challenges that make it more convenient for them or to have comfort of early voting. But I also think the length of time that the state has suggested for early in-person voting is too long and could lead to election integrity issues. Early in-person voting shouldn't last for more than a few days. My question is, how much money is this unfunded mandate going to cost Sussex County taxpayers? We need to find that out. I also support District 24's push for voter identification. I know our county was the first one in New Jersey with our county clerk, Jeff Parrott, to offer veteran ID cards. This is just my opinion, okay, so it's just me talking. But why can't Sussex County be the first county that starts the movement statewide for voter IDs? This is something I'm going to be looking into on my own to see if there's any legal challenges with that, but there needs to be better checks in voter identity. My son got his license on Thursday. He came home and he said, next year I'll be able to vote. I got this right here. I said to him, you don't need that. And he said, what? I don't need a license to vote. I said, absolutely not. And I had to go explain to him why. And again, it's wrong, and I hope that changes, and hopefully we can start in Sussex County. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Commissioner Patillo.
Okay, let's see. I'd like to begin by thanking the Mental Health Association in New Jersey, in collaboration with the Sussex County Education Partnership and Kristen Turtur, for presenting the Self-Care for Educators During COVID-19 program. That program offered teachers an easy way to reduce stress and get balance back in their lives. It was really a very interesting and informative forum. We had that on Monday. There's going to be another one tomorrow on Thursday. And it really brought to everyone's attention that teachers don't always realize the importance of taking care of their own health and wellness because they're so busy taking care of students and all the work that they're doing and trying to deal with all the constant changes. But this program offered many ideas and very easy techniques to reset their thoughts and make healthy choices to improve their personal health. As I said, there'll be another program tomorrow, and if anyone is interested, the program is at 3 p.m., and you can sign up for the program at ktur@sussex.nj.us, and you will receive a confirmation about joining the meeting. The program is about an hour, and it is well worth your time. At the last meeting, I spoke about different current issues, and I said that there are organizations, Sussex County being one of them, the college, that's going to have a program in September, but there is another program out there that's going to be on June 12th. The guest speaker is Lee Roussan, who's a former professional American football running back. He played for the New York Giants and the Cleveland Browns. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion. It was the New York Giants Super Bowl 21 and 25. The title of the event is called Who Are You Really? Exploring Societal Concerns, Addiction, Racism, Anger, and Identity Crisis. The program, as I said, is on June 12th from 2 to 3. It's just an hour. There will be a question and answer period, so there'll be interaction between the people that attend and Lee himself. It will be held at the Sussex County Mall. That's at 15 Hampton House Road in Newton, right in the parking lot. You're not going inside. It's not a formal presentation. He's going to be standing right in the parking lot with a microphone. Bring a chair. It'll be right at the old Sears building. I think Harbor Freight Store is now there, and you'll see everybody there in the parking lot, as I said, June 12th from 2 to 3. I hope that you'll come. I hope that you'll invite people that want to talk about these issues. This would be a great place to have that conversation. Next, I want to talk about public health nursing clinics. Now, all these clinics are being held at the Public Health Nursing at 201 Wheatsworth Road in Hamburg. They're all being held there. The first one is the Child Health Conference. That's on Tuesday, May 18th from 9:30 to 12:30 p.m. at Public Health Nursing. I just said that. Okay. The clinic provides complete physical exams, screenings, and age-appropriate immunizations for children ages 0 to 5 years old that are without health insurance. Appointments are required and can be scheduled by calling the Office of Public Health Nursing at 973-579-0570, extension 1211. The second one is the Women's Health Screening. That's going to be held on Thursday, May 20th, from 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The service is available free to underinsured, uninsured county residents who qualify for the NJC grant. Mammograms are scheduled for a later date. Pre-registration is required. Just call 973-579-0570, extension 1246. And the last clinic is the Comprehensive Metabolic Profile that will be held on Saturday, May 22nd from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. at Public Health and Nursing also. The clinic provides basic screening blood work for Sussex County adults 18 and older. There's a fee of $50 payable by cash or check only, and appointments can be made at 973-579-0570, extension 1211. And the last clinic is being held at the Apacon Community Resource and Wellness Center at 47 Apachon Road in Apacon. And this is the Senior Services Caregiver Support Group, in-person caregiver support group meeting, Tuesday, May 18th from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And if you ever have any questions, you can just call the Division of Senior Services at 973-579-0555, extension 1288. The last thing I want to end with is the 2021 primary election voting. Okay, the primary election day in New Jersey this year is Tuesday, June 8th. All regular polling places in Sussex County will be open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Voting is in person using voting machines. Voters must vote in their assigned locations. If you don't remember what district you're in, when you get your sample ballot, it'll be on there, or you can call your municipal clerk or the Board of Elections. Vote-by-mail ballots are also available from the county clerk's office upon request and can be returned in one of three ways. You can put it U.S. mail, postmarked no later than Election Day, June 8th, or go to the Board of Elections office. Hours are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Saturday, June 5th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Or you could use any of the 13 secure ballot drop boxes around the county. Ballot box information, accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ballots are picked up by election staff every morning. Drop boxes are locked at 8 p.m. on Election Day. Now, this is very important. Vote-by-mail ballots cannot be returned to the polling places on Election Day like you did for the November election. You can't come Election Day with your vote-by-mail. You've got to put it in either one of the boxes or mail it in or go up to the county and bring it to the county. Voters can designate another person to return their paper ballot for them as noted on the ballot envelope. And these bearers can only return a total of 3 ballots or 5 ballots if from the same household in addition to their own. Voting privileges are available to civilian, overseas, and military personnel. Sample ballots will be sent to all registered voters approximately 2 weeks prior to Election Day. The sample ballot will include the voter's assigned polling place. Primary elections are open to those registered voters who have declared a Democratic or Republican Party affiliation. Unaffiliated registered voters can go to their polling location on Election Day and declare a Democratic or Republican Party affiliation and then vote in the primary. The deadline to register to vote in time for this primary election is Tuesday, May 18th. That's next week. The Board of Elections office will remain open until 9 p.m. to accept new registrations. If a voter has moved within the county, they should call the Board of Elections to update their address as they can vote in their new town. You can find all of these instructions on the clerk's website and the Board of Elections website. So I just wanted to go over that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sylvia. Next, Commissioner Yardley.
Thank you. Talk about the Environmental Health Division. There we go. Now we can see. food surveillance program, and that's to safeguard the public health, provide consumers with food or an inspection that's safe, at least clears and prevent foodborne illnesses. And so what those inspections do is they don't guarantee. You can't hear me?
No.
I can hear me. All right. Can you hear me now?
Better.
Okay. I'll put my mask on afterwards. Sussex County Division of Environmental Health conducts food surveillance program to safeguard the public health, to provide consumers with an environment that will prevent foodborne outbreaks. So during the period from January to April, there were 386 routine inspections, fixed re-inspections, 39. So that means 39 restaurants had some problem by which they had to go back. There were 15 food inspections for temporary vendors, 6 complaints. And this I found interesting. It'll give us a little bit of idea of what's going on in the county. Food plan reviews. So for fixed facilities, and these could be new, renovated businesses, there were 32 plan reviews for food businesses. So I think that's and says something that we have people getting ready to open restaurants. And there were also 26 temporary food inspections. Comment on COVID-19. The health department continues to evolve and address the ever-evolving novel coronavirus, COVID-19, under the guidance of the New Jersey Department of Health, and the daily positive cases are entered into the CDRSS and community care systems from various labs. CDRSS is the communicable disease reporting system that every time there's a report of the COVID virus, it goes into this system, and then they do the contact tracing. Also, any communicable disease also gets entered into this. So it's a pretty substantial document, and all diseases from the doctors, if you go to a doctor, gets reported back to the health department. The staff is still working 7 days a week, and they can provide guidance and answer questions regarding isolation, quarantine, and recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Deputy Fasano.
Well, thank you, Director Fantasia, and thank you to all who are joining us this evening in person, finally. And I also want to thank Sussex County Community College for their hospitality and their effort in making tonight a possibility, along with the many more meetings in the future that are planned to take place at this facility. So, Dr. Connolly, thank you. Thank you to the Board of Trustees and all of your amazing staff who have worked with us in getting this off the ground. It's really appreciated. Finally, we can get back to having in-person meetings, which I think is wonderful and a great sign that we're moving in the right direction and putting this pandemic behind us. Along that same thought, the governor has also announced a plethora of changes that loosen his restrictions on indoor and outdoor gathering limits, indoor and outdoor dining, gyms, amusement parks, recreation activities, sporting events, and other areas as well. Sussex County's reporting also shows significant progress as case counts have dropped significantly, as Director Fantasia mentioned. Schools are opening, and recently the Northwest activity level dropped from high to moderate. All of that shows significant progress against this pandemic, and I'm thrilled to see you all in real life again. However, our efforts against COVID-19 in Sussex County are not stopping. Sussex County's free in-person and at-home testing options remain available to residents, and Sussex County's vaccination center at the fairgrounds continue their tremendous work as well. As of this morning, the state of New Jersey is reporting 68,545 doses of the vaccine have been administered, with over 54,000 county residents reaching full vaccination. Again, those are truly encouraging numbers, and for updates, along with more information about our COVID-19 efforts, residents are encouraged to visit our county COVID-19 webpage, which is simply sussex.nj.us/COVID-19. And finally, tonight, I wanted to bring attention to a resolution that we have to vote on tonight. This is Resolution 1480. H. It's titled Opposing Cuts in State School Aid Allocations to Sussex County School Districts. And I felt it was appropriate tonight to read that resolution. Whereas the fiscal year 2022 K-12 state school aid amounts have been released by the New Jersey Department of Education Office of School Funding. And whereas Sussex County's funding level will continue to sharply decrease, despite 14 other counties in New Jersey receiving increases from 5.4% in Gloucester to 16.3% in Bergen. And whereas only 3 of Sussex County's school districts are receiving funding increases or no changes at all to their funding compared to last year, while the remaining 22 districts will see dramatic cuts to their state school aid, with most of them receiving double-digit decreases just this year alone, by the way. And whereas the state school aid decreases for fiscal year 2022 in Sussex County are as follows: Hopatcong Borough Schools, minus 27.2%. Stillwater Township Schools, minus 24.8%. Sandyston Walpack Township Schools, minus 21.8%. Kinnatini Regional, minus 20.1%. Frankfurt Township, minus 17.8%. Hampton Township, minus 17.4%. High Point Regional, minus 16.3%. Freedom Township, minus 15.6%. Andover Regional, minus 15.2%. Hardiston Township, minus 14.9%. Green Township, minus 14.1%. Stanhope Borough, minus 12.9%. Hamburg Borough and Wallkill Valley Regional are both at minus 10.9%. Byram Township is minus 10.7%. Vernon Township is minus 10.6%. Sussex Wantage Regional is minus 10.6%. Montague Township is minus 8%. Sparta Township is minus 3.9%. Ogdensburg is minus 2.7%. Lenape Valley Regional is minus 1%. And Lafayette Township is minus 0.3%. Whereas the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners finds these state aid decreases to be unacceptable and detrimental to our county school districts and will hinder their ability to provide the high quality of education that our students deserve. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex oppose the announced fiscal year 2022 K-12 state school aid amounts and urges the New Jersey Department of Education, Office of School Finance, to restore funding to our school districts. Be it further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Sussex County Clerk, Sussex County federal legislators, members of the New Jersey Senate and the New Jersey General Assembly, commissioner boards in each county of the state of New Jersey, and the mayors, clerks, and administrators of all Sussex County municipalities, end quote. These funding cuts are detrimental to our school districts, and they're detrimental to our students inside of classrooms, and they're detrimental to our taxpayers inside of dining rooms. If it isn't addressed soon, our school districts are facing significant cuts in academic programming, and my fear is that Sussex County's academic foundation is going to be nothing more than bare bones, which defeats the very purpose of the effort that we're doing from an economic development standpoint and our own taxpayer fundings that we're putting towards public education here at the county level. We are not the only county who feels this way, but there are students who absolutely are going to get shorted from their educational experience for no other reason than these state aid cuts, at a time in which the state has announced billions of dollars in surplus. Warren County has voted on the same resolution because they feel the same at their previous meeting. It is really important, and I encourage you to get in touch with your legislatures, and most importantly, the governor and the Department of Education Office of School Funding, to make clear that our students, our teachers, our taxpayers, our businesses, and our future deserve better. Thank you so much, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Anthony. I do have a question. I know there is a common misconception that the reduction in school funding is simply due to a population decrease.
Yeah.
Can you speak for a moment about what some of these other factors are that are not taken into consideration, or why it's so severe and that it's not only limited to a decrease in population here?
You know, I have been involved. Obviously, I came from a school board for 6 years. I've been involved in public education, and I've tried to ask a lot of people, and I still cannot understand the school funding formula and the variables that are being used to determine this. But there is a misnomer that these state aid cuts are correlated to reductions in student population. And I'll speak to Hopakon because I know it best. It's where I came from. That district lost about 25% of its students since 2012. It's gained about 3% of it back over the last year. That district is facing cumulatively a 90% reduction of state aid in their district, which results to roughly a third of their overall budget. And 90% of their budget is in salaries and benefits. So, of course, you're going to have to make adjustments and ramifications to that, but it also makes the additional 10% that is really based inside of the classroom. You have to cut that to bare bones. These school districts are not necessarily being given a choice. They're certainly not being heard in Trenton. But this notion, and when I was on the school board in Hopakon, we expected a state aid decrease, and we expected it to correlate with our reduction in student population. We were prepared for that. We were prepared for a 33% reduction. I would argue that the district was prepared for a 50% reduction. But a 90% reduction is unsustainable, and for what reason? In a state that prides itself on public education and has billions of dollars of surplus at a time where students really need to get into the classroom, this is a really important issue that we're going to feel today and in the future, and I hope to God we're heard.
Thank you. What I can say is that in the School Funding Reform Act and some of the reforms based upon that act in the past few years, there has yet to be consideration given to rural school districts that do have limitations on development and expansion. So there is oftentimes allowances made for urban districts and the special needs that are required for those areas. Rural areas do not enjoy similar allowances. So I know that that's one big piece of what happens here to us up in Sussex County, Northwest New Jersey, Highlands, and the Pinelands as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, but thank you for the update. My report this evening is going to begin with some information from the Health Department. The Sussex County appointment scheduling for vaccinations is open. If you visit sussex.nj.us and click on Get Vaccinated, you can schedule your appointments. County continues to restrict vaccination site appointments at the fairgrounds to those who live, work, or go to school here in Sussex County. The vaccination clinic has scheduled second dose appointments in our first 2 weeks of May, so we have completed a majority of the second dose of those appointments. Sussex County is coordinating with Atlantic Health System and Gail Carrick, County Superintendent of Schools, to vaccinate teachers and high school students aged 16 years and older. As of May 8th, 2021, our vaccine site has administered 16,721 doses. Doses in general, rather, of the Moderna vaccine, 9,517. As of a week ago, we were at 7,203 second doses. Now, if you recall, we had the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We were able to vaccinate 190 homebound residents, predominantly senior citizens and those at Liberty Towers, and 15 Mountain Creek employees with the Janssen vaccine. That was put on hold by the state, the FDA, and now it, I believe, is open again with some restrictions, so please take a look at that. I believe one of the recommendations were for females of childbearing years. I believe some of the worst side effects regarding the blood clots were females between the ages of 18 and 48, so it's contraindicated for anyone with a clotting disorder or a female between those ages. You may want to speak with your doctor prior to considering that. Sussex County held a pop-up COVID vaccine clinic at Mountain Creek for the employees, and that's how those 15 employees were vaccinated. So the Division of Health is offering pop-up vaccination clinics for employees and their families, actually, at Selective Insurance, Crystal Springs, and some Sussex County businesses, gyms, campgrounds, our public pools, and some of our lakes. So if you're interested in scheduling for your business or organization, you can contact Rachel Flar by email at rflar@sussex.nj.us, and we'll post this on our website as well for easy access. Sussex County Department of Health and Human Services, in partnership with Atlantic Health System, Norwescap Pathways to Prosperity and Project Self-Sufficiency, is offering Johnson & Johnson vaccines free of charge to Sussex County residents who are homeless, at risk of homelessness, or precariously housed, beginning on the 20th of May. So again, please visit the county website if you know anybody that would fall into those categories, or you can call 973-579-0559. Seniors who do not have access to the internet or use of a computer can continue to call Sussex County Senior Services to receive assistance in registering for a vaccination appointment, 579-0555. And also, transportation is still available for seniors who cannot make it to a vaccination site via Skylands Ride, 973-579-0480. And you can always contact the Sussex County Division of Health for all things COVID. Our COVID hotline, 973-579-0570, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Again, for testing, the at-home kits that are free are still available through a program sponsored by Sussex County. Visit the website. We do have Vault Medical Services and LabCorp. Vault is the saliva test that is approved for children ages 6 and up. And then we still have the LabCorp nasal test as well. And then Zufall still does their weekly in-person testing. We have one tomorrow at the VFW in Newton, Thursday, May 13th from noon to 4. And you can schedule online, or they also take walk-ins. So each week they're accepting walk-ins at those sites for COVID testing. And that is not the rapid test, that is the PCR nasal test at those sites. So, as Commissioner Fasano stated, we are at yellow for moderate at this time. The travel quarantine recommendations had changed, so no quarantine is recommended after travel, interstate travel, for fully vaccinated individuals or individuals who have recovered from COVID-19 within the past 90 days of the illness onset. And again, Lama Shaddad, our epidemiologist, reports a decrease in the total number of cases. Now, there is 11 confirmed active outbreaks, 3 suspected outbreaks that are under investigation currently in Sussex County schools. And as of May 10th, there are 3 confirmed active outbreaks in long-term care facilities. We have 19 in the county of Sussex, 19 long-term care facilities. There are outbreaks in 3. We continue to monitor reports regarding the variant strain. So again, we talked about B117, which is the UK strain. The first case was reported March 8th. So we're still watching that piece. So as of today, total residents in the county that have tested positive for COVID-19 are 14,282. So about 10% of our total population in Sussex County have tested positive for COVID-19. The residents recovered 13,240. That's a 93% recovery rate. And again, keep in mind, recovered doesn't mean that you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. It means that you're not hospitalized. God forbid you did not pass from the disease, and you are actually on the road to recovery. There are 743 cases that are currently under investigation, so that's about 5% roughly of the total cases. Our total deaths in the county are 299. So we've had a 2% fatality rate. Long-term care resident staff combined 781 positive cases originated there, so that's about 5.5%. And as far as the deaths, 134 are attributed to long-term care facilities, either staff or residents. So that's about 45% of the total deaths in the county are attributed to long-term care facilities. As far as hospitalizations thus far, again, if you recall in January, we had 122 COVID hospitalizations reported on CDRS from Newton Memorial Hospital. My latest information in May, we have 6 COVID hospitalizations reported at Newton Memorial. So it sounds like we are definitely going in the right direction. I think I'm dating myself saying Newton Memorial. I should say Newton Medical Center. When I was a kid, it was Newton Memorial Hospital. So, okay, so that is as far as our COVID updates. There's a couple other updates that I have. I did speak with Sheriff Strada this week to get some updates from the actual vaccination center. He said everything's going smoothly, that he doesn't have any updates in that regard, but he did want me to know that over the next 3 months there is training for county employees in response to active shooter. So they're going to be scheduling active shooter drills, and we'll have more information about that. But he said that program is coming together fairly well and in its planning stages. Also, this Saturday, I was able to attend the Eagle Scout ceremony for those young ladies, 3 of the young ladies who we gave the proclamation to: Bridget Brady from Byram, Jasmine Lutz from Byram, and Brianna Conlon. That was May 8th, 2021. And it was a really interesting ceremony. I'd never been to one of those ceremonies before, and it was a couple hours long, and it has a lot of rituals in it, and they had a lot of connection to nature, a lot of references to respecting the land and Native American heritage. It was absolutely amazing to see the very first inaugural class of girls and know that Sussex County has those, because in the past, girls were not eligible to earn an Eagle Scout Award. They could earn the Gold Award in Girl Scouts, which is not exactly an equivalent, but is kind of meant to be the highest ranking honor that you could receive in the Girl Scouts of America. Now, with females allowed to participate in the Boy Scouts of America, they can now earn the Eagle Scout Award, and it was amazing to see these young ladies actually achieve this, and what they're capable of and where they're headed is just absolutely amazing. If I was stuck on the island, I'd take any of them. And then in the audience, we had Eagle Scouts. They said, we were sitting, and they said, all right, stand up. Anybody who is an Eagle Scout or received a Gold Award, stand up. And they went around the room, and there had to be, we were outside in a pavilion. It was pouring and hailing, by the way, so that was pleasant. But the best part was when everybody stood up, and I looked around, and easily 100, 120 Eagle Scouts had come from all over northern New Jersey just to support these girls. You had, individuals, a lot came from Hudson County, we had Passaic County, we had some of the southern counties in New Jersey come, and even some from out of state. And what they did was they gave the year that they made their Eagle Scout and where they hailed from, and to see, and at the time, obviously, it was men, because this is the first year for, the inaugural year, but to see all of these men of all ages come from all over the state to support these 3 young women, absolutely amazing experience. A few of the other young ladies will be having their formal ceremonies, so the board will be invited, and then, if you're interested in going, I would certainly, go again, but if you're interested in going, please let me know so we can recognize, those young ladies in the inaugural class as well. Really great achievement for them. I also wanted to touch on here, yesterday, there was down at the state level, and we're talking about District 24, Republican members of the Senate Budget and Appropriations Committee, they had a budget hearing, and the New Jersey Department of Health Chair Judy Persicilli was actually present, and they absolutely had questions about some policies that the Department of Health is operating under as part of their 200-page manual that's happening. And the legislators did note that the commissioner again refused an invitation to participate in an independent hearing when they sought to review the policies that led to nearly 8,000 deaths and a substantial hardship in New Jersey in nursing and veterans' homes and long-term care facilities. The commissioner was asked to acknowledge if she felt any of the current health restrictions are outdated based upon the approaching endemic status of COVID-19 for some of these facilities, and that conversation did not proceed forward. There were family members that have previously testified at those independent hearings on the long-term care facilities, and they have expressed severe strife over the fact that there are not changes. They are still unable to visit at times some of their loved ones who are in these long-term care facilities, and they are, quite frankly, for lack of a better word, appalled at the lack of the state's responsiveness as the pandemic segues to what could possibly be considered an endemic standard coming up. So I just wanted to put that on your radar, that again, we're not pulling back on our requests. Our attorney, Kevin Kelly, welcome back. I know that you're back on your feet. It's wonderful to see you back with us. We had, obviously, our attorney. We had Joe Bell here the one week. We had Doug Steinhardt here another week, so we were able to have attorneys who are contracted with the county already for ancillary duties come and step in for you. But it's very nice to see your face back in with us tonight. But again, Kevin Kelly was very integral back last May in drafting some of those OPRA requests that we had, that here we sit a year later and still wait for. So please keep in mind that we have no intention of backing down on that in any capacity. There is a ballot question that we voted on at our last meeting that will also be requesting a bipartisan independent investigation, because as we've stated before, I've never in my life heard of an appointee of an individual investigating an individual's policies. That makes no sense to me. That would be like me investigating what the board is doing up here. It's ludicrous. So we're asking for an independent investigation, and we're hoping that the public makes their voices loud and makes their voices heard in this situation, and we will continue to demand the documents that are available under the Open Public Records Act. We are not the only county that's been stymied by this. We are not the only organization. There are journalists, there are legislators, there are federal requests that have gone delayed and denied. The last communication we received was in August, asking us for additional time. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Could have given birth by then. I don't think it takes that long to produce some documents for us. So that's where we stand at this point. We will continue to keep the public updated as to where we are. There is plenty of blame to go around for those nursing home operators, and that investigation is valid and going on, and those families are pursuing justice there. Our question is, what was the state's involvement? Because we are more than happy to share what our county's involvement is. We always have been, and we will continue to be so. Now it's time for the state to tell us what their involvement was and what piece of that caused the horror that we experienced here in Sussex County and across the state of New Jersey. Highest death rate in long-term care facilities in the nation. So that's my report for this evening. We're going to move on to number 10, which is the approval of the consent agenda. It is letters A through, let me see here, A through I. The Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex has reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. If any commissioner would like to remove an item to be considered separately, please do so now. Hearing nobody come forward for that, I need a motion to adopt the consent agenda A through I.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass. Number 11 is the approval of minutes. And Commissioner Yardley, I assume you would abstain due to your absence from the meeting. So approval of the meeting minutes of the regular meeting, April 28th, 2021. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
I abstain. For the record.
Thank you. Please note that, and I asked you that too, Herb. Sorry about that. Please note that Commissioner Yardley abstains. Thank you. Number 12, appointments and/or resignations. There are none tonight. Number 13, an ordinance. It is an introduction for first reading, Ordinance 2105, amending speed limits established along County Route 633 under resolutions entitled Establishing Speed Limits on Keema Lake Road, County Route 633 in the Township of Frankfort, dated October 11th, 1983, and established speed limits on Keema Lake Road, County Route 633 in the Township of Hampton, dated September 27th, 1983. A motion to adopt this ordinance on first reading and authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as introduced for first reading, and also post same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center, together with a notice of public hearing stating that a hearing will be held on May 26, 2021 at 6 p.m. prior to the final adoption of this ordinance. So before we move to that, I wanted to note that our administrator, Greg Poff, is not with us tonight. He had a family obligation, and we have our CFO, Elke Yetter, here in lieu of Administrator Poff. So if any member of the board here has any questions, they can be directed at Elke at this time. All right, I need the motion to adopt the ordinance as read.
Still moved.
And a second.
Second.
Terry, please call the roll.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Pass. Number 14, resolutions. There are resolutions A through H. Again, Resolution H was the resolution that Deputy Commissioner Fasano read into the record regarding our opposition to cuts in state school aid allocations to Sussex County school districts. So at this time, I need a motion to adopt the resolutions A through H.
So moved.
Second.
Terry, please call the roll.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Number 15, awards of contract, change orders, bid. There are none. Number 16, financial. A, a resolution, payment of bills list, May 12th, 2021. I need a motion to adopt the bills list.
Still moved.
Second.
Terry, please call the roll.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
And B, a resolution regarding a change in monetary amount for the Sussex County Department of Finance and Library Services, Division of Library Services. I need a motion to adopt the resolution.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Is there discussion?
I just wanted to mention quickly that this has to do, and Elko, correct me if I'm wrong, but with petty cash available at the library. I believe it's going from $50 to $150. Okay, that was all from memory. So
Perfect.
yeah, about that.
So this specific resolution allows for $150 in petty cash versus $50 in petty cash at the library location. Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Now, Terry, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Pass. C, a resolution regarding determining the form and other details of the offering of $31,328,000 general obligation bonds, consisting of $26,733,000 general improvement bonds, Series 2021A, $1,795,000 vocational technical school bonds, Series 2021B, and $2,800,000 county college bonds, Series 2021C, County College Bond Act, 1971, New Jersey Laws C-12, as amended, of the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, and providing for the sale of such bonds. I need a motion to adopt the resolution.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion from the board? Elka, for the sake of the public, would you like to please come to the microphone and just give a little bit of information, please?
Sure, thank you, Commissioner Director. This resolution permanently finances short-term notes to bonds for various ordinances from 2016 to 2021. So this is taking notes and some new money and creating bonds for that.
Thank you.
Question. Clarification, this is existing debt, correct?
This is existing authorized debt. This is debt that's been authorized in various resolutions. This is just the resolution for the bond sale itself.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we had a motion and a second. Now we've had discussion. Any other questions? Terry, please call the roll.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Passed. All right, now we are on to number 17, which is the personnel agenda, which at the start of the meeting, we did pull the one position for consideration at our next meeting once we have further information. That was the Office of the County Administrator position, Secretary position, which is not included in this vote.
I'm going to abstain on this vote.
Can you, let's take a motion a second and then we'll discuss. Okay, thank you. So I need a motion to adopt the personnel agenda as amended.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
And discussion.
I'm going to abstain on this because as I was looking at it, I didn't have
I
enough.
can't hear
I
you.
didn't have enough time to thoroughly review that document, so I'm going to abstain on it. That's all.
Fair. Thank you. Are there any other questions for what is existing on those positions? As you're aware, and when I was contacted last week, we knew that the personnel agenda would be longer based upon the passing of our budget to be able to move on some of these positions. I'm very pleased to see there's additional laborers on here, the positions for the engineering department, all of those positions that we were able to create this year are actually implemented here. And again, the only holdup is questions regarding the salary and job duties for the one position that were not clear. But other than that,
And that's going to be discussed.
correct. Administrator Poff is going to send information out individually. If you have any questions, please contact him directly based upon what comes, and then that will be on our agenda at our next meeting for consideration. Okay? And without him being here tonight, it just made it difficult, so it was just the easier thing to put it aside. And then, I didn't want to put Elka in the hot seat here, for that, so.
I just have one question, Director.
Yes.
Elka, did we hire six more employees? Is that it? Was that the number? If I remember correctly? I know we had 2 in engineering, 2 laborers. I thought there was 2 more.
There was a mosquito identifier specialist, planning aid. There's a library position, but that's not in the current fund budget.
And then there was 2 election board members, right? So
There's 9 in total.
There was 9 in total?
There's 9 new hires
Okay.
in total. Tonight, we are voting on 8
Right.
because that one position still needs further clarification.
Okay, that's 8.
Yeah, but there are 9 in total.
That's good for the laborers. I know the DPW, when I visit them, they're always looking for some more help. I mean, they just can't find it, especially when they're getting stimulus money. No one wants to work.
Most definitely.
But nevertheless, that's all I have.
I'll be visiting tomorrow some of the county offices, and my school happens to be closed tomorrow, so I will be able to make some rounds and go talk to some of those folks tomorrow myself, get a little feedback.
Good.
Okay. All right, so We have a motion and we have a second, and I'm going to ask Terry to please call the roll.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Director Fantasia?
Yes.
Commissioner Fasano?
Yes.
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Director Yardley?
Abstain.
Okay, and that passes. Number 18 is our administrative report, and I don't know, Elka, if you have anything from Mr. Poff that you'd like to share?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. I would like to read Administrator Poff's report in his absence, starting with the early voting law. County staff met with representatives from the Board of Elections and the County Clerk's Office to discuss the new early voting law and how best to support the Board of Elections in meeting these requirements. County IT staff and facilities management will provide logistical support to assist the Board of Elections in the coming weeks. The new director of the Division of Local Government Services, the County Administrators Association had the opportunity to hear from the new director of DLGS, Jacqueline Suarez, at a recent county administrators meeting. Director Suarez spoke about her goals to support local government in her new role and reviewed what federal guidance was available at the time concerning the American Rescue Plan. And the American Rescue Plan update, the U.S. Treasury issued the interim final rule regarding the American Rescue Plan for coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds. Administration and finance are reviewing the guidance and participating in various webinars to get more specifics. Administration is putting together reference binders for the commissioners that will be available at the next board meeting. And that is Administrator Poff's report.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I was also contracted by District 24, one of their employees that shared some information. As it comes out, they always send it to the county right away, to us and to Warren County. And I know Mount Olive is also part of their jurisdiction, but it will be nice to have everything compiled because they keep sending us, as different information is coming out of the federal government. It'll be nice to have it in one place for us. I appreciate that. Okay, next, County Council report. Mr. Kelly?
I do want to say one thing.
Do you want to come to the microphone?
No.
Okay, fair.
This is very simple. I just want to thank you all and all my colleagues for the help and support of the nice things you had to say. When I was out, it was a little bit involved. It's great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. Okay, we are on to number 20, unfinished business. Does any commissioner have unfinished business?
I sure do.
Commissioner Carney?
I was thinking that since we are back in person, we would be able to change a roll call procedure. I could care less how we do it, makes no difference to me. We did table it per se. Now we're in person. If you guys are good with it, I would like to change that. Not necessarily reports, that makes no difference to me, but when it comes to voting, I would like to change that.
Yes,
That's my
we
opinion.
did talk about that at our last meeting. Again, I can only share what Franklin did and see, for instance, how we sit is pretty much how it worked. So let's say it is the first meeting of March. The vote always would start, starting, let's say, at this meeting, Commissioner Carney, and goes around that way. The next meeting, the vote starts with Commissioner Patillo, and then goes around. The subsequent meeting, it starts with me, and like that, and we could alternate, each meeting. This will be the way we sit, whether we're up here, and when we're on the dais back, on Spring Street in the Administrative Center, it's going to be the same.
Well,
So,
if I could, Chris, I have to say it's the one time I have the last name Y that came advantage. I had an advantage, and you're going to take that away from me.
Sorry, buddy.
I believe that we have to either change the administrative code so that if the board does want to proceed, I would just need a motion or counselors here, just ask him to make the change, and we can change that administrative code. Until that point, legally, we have to follow this. So why don't we direct, Kevin's here now, and direct Kevin to prepare that for, Kevin, can that be prepared for our next meeting? Okay.
Do we need to make a motion?
So if it's, no, we wouldn't make a motion this evening. What it simply is then, it wouldn't be, again, in Franklin, the code allowed for us to move here. Obviously, that precedent is not set. So I would suggest, Kevin, that it just be done based upon alphabetically, based upon the last name, regardless of how we sit or whatnot, and it rotates, in a chronological pattern on a rotating basis based upon the first letter of the last name, and that's where it starts. So let's say our first January meeting starts with the beginning of the alphabet, and then we just move that way. I think that makes the most logical sense, other than sitting. And if we can have something, for review for the agenda meeting, and perhaps we can have that on the agenda for the next meeting to vote, so we would be able to do that.
Perfect. Works for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any new business that any commissioner would like to bring to the table? No? Okay. Now we are on to number 22, which is the public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make general comments of 3 minutes or less on non-agenda topics. Please line up at the microphone and maintain 6 feet social distance with other attendees. Please state your name and municipality for the record. So first, I would need a motion to open the floor for public comments.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the floor is open for public comment. Please, if you'd like to speak, please come to the microphone.
Hi, Zoe Heath Vernon. Am I ready to go? Oh, perfect, thank you. It is really nice to be back in person. It's so nice to see everybody and get out of the house for these meetings. I do want to ask of the board, though, that they offer a type of hybrid option so that people who are from home or might not be able to make the meeting can still participate and listen to the meeting live. After a year of being able to do these meetings remotely, it's time we either start live streaming these meetings or letting the public participate even from home, because as I'm sure you guys know, 6 o'clock is tough for a lot of people with families or who work and kids at home with parents. It would be a really good step for transparency in government to live stream these meetings and allow public participation from home. I know some school boards are doing it that way, like some are on Zoom, some are in person, but it would help the public be able to engage with their elected officials better. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve Saldaggio, OPACON. Good evening, everyone, and thank you to county commissioners for making it possible going back to in-person meetings. I know you guys have been pushing it for a while. We got out here by the COVID-19 guidelines. Tonight, I wanted to speak about the legalization of marijuana in New Jersey and a negative effect it will have in Sussex County if a dispensary or multiple dispensaries are approved and allowed to operate in the county. Before I begin on legal marijuana, I want to say some things about medical marijuana. As a medical marijuana patient for 2 years now for chronic back pain, the medical marijuana program is, in my opinion, a great way to alleviate pain without taking harmful and addictive painkillers. It helps with sleep, and it helps with day-to-day stress, in my opinion. I am all in favor of a medical dispensary or 2 in Sussex County, but not legal here. And here's some concerns I'm going to address. The biggest concern I have is that there could be possibly more drivers under the influence of marijuana that could lead to accidents, and depending where a dispensary is located, could cause a lot of traffic buildup in the area. Some of these dispensaries do that. Money would have to be spent training police officers because it is harder for a police officer to know if a person is under the influence of marijuana rather than alcohol. My second concern is where the profit going to go. I'm sure Phil Murphy has a plan to use that money to bail out poorly run Democratic cities. My last statement about legal marijuana is, what is the overall plan going to be? Like I said, I've been a medical marijuana patient for 2 years now, and that I can tell you right now the New Jersey medical marijuana program is broken. I think right now there's only 8 facilities in New Jersey right now, and honestly, from experience, some are better, much better than others. Even before the pandemic started, dispensaries would run out of product rather quickly, and the pricing is unfair for most people. Once the pandemic started, the New Jersey medical marijuana program couldn't keep up again. This time, with COVID procedures in place, going to the dispensary became a nightmare, as extremely, extremely long lines, sometimes 2 hours for people, and turning people away as dispensaries ran out of the product. So my question to Phil Murphy and his New Jersey medical marijuana program administration: are you going to be able to keep up with the supply and demand of legal marijuana, because you can't even keep up with the medical marijuana program as it is? So, to be quite honest on the matter, I don't see many towns in New Jersey being okay with the dispensary in their towns. Thank you, commissioners, for letting me speak tonight, and I applaud you guys for being $2 million under the budget this year. That's what Republican leadership looks like. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to come forward to speak?
Hello, Damaris Lera from Sussex Borough. Damaris Lera? Yes. I'm here today wearing my Sussex Borough Recreation Committee hat. This year, the Sussex County Fairman's Expansion Day Parade will be held in my town, Sussex Borough, on October 2nd. Our Recreation Committee is very small and works on all volunteers and almost completely on donated funds. This year, we're working overtime to make this an exciting and well-attended parade. However, our funding for the last year has been stymied due to COVID, safety concerns, and I'm here appearing today to invite and hopefully entice any businesses who would like to participate in our event. My phone?
I think if you just take a little step back, you won't get reverberation.
Okay. Is this better?
Yeah.
I'm here in this public forum to invite and hopefully entice any businesses who would like to participate in our event with a booth along Main Street or would like to participate in any other way, to please reach out to us via email at recreational1@sussexborough.com. Additionally, we are required to raise funds to purchase trophies for several events, and we have partnered with the Sussex Wanted Historical Society to create a GoFundMe specifically to raise funds for these trophies. If anyone would like to donate, please go to the Facebook page for Sussex Wanted Historical Society or Sussex Borough's Recreation Facebook page. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see all the commissioners at the parade.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is the information on the websites of each town?
What do you mean, information?
Well, you just gave some information of an event. Is it on a website anywhere?
It's on the Sussex Borough Recreation page.
The what?
The Sussex Borough's Recreation Facebook page.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I got one question too. Sorry.
Okay.
Can you just email that information?
Sure,
to
I can
us?
do that.
That way we have it, and then
That'd be
we
really
can
great.
spread the word easier that way.
Thank you so much. I will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's always a great event.
Anybody else wish to come forward to speak? Seeing no one come forward at this time, I need a motion to close the meeting to the public.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay, the meeting is now closed, public session. I just wanted to make just a comment to the gentleman who spoke about the concerns regarding marijuana legalization, Mr. Salvaggio. Hi, nice to see you in person. I hear the names like I know Ms. Lira as well. I've heard your name. I've never seen your face, so it's nice to actually see a face. Anyhow, I don't want to comment, from a county perspective, because again, as we know, it isn't a county decision. Where recreational dispensaries come up, that is actually each municipality is charged with making the decision for their own individual municipality. So the county has no oversight or say in that. They do have a pretty hard deadline, though, each municipality. If they don't make their decision by that deadline, the state makes it for them and locks them into that decision for 5 years. So please keep that in mind. If your municipality hasn't moved on it, then the decision is it's open season in your municipality, and you may not change for 5 years. But again, this is something that this board has zero jurisdiction over to say where recreational dispensaries or stores would be. I do want to comment. I understand you're 100% correct with the medical marijuana program in New Jersey being paltry compared to other states. There are shortages. I have family members that do have medical marijuana cards. I have driven family members there. The lines, the shortages during the pandemic. And to me, it is nothing short of outrageous, the amount of taxes, that the price is absolutely jaw-dropping to me. That would not stand if it was viewed as a traditional prescription drug. I'm personally, just for my own experience with my family, very hot about that. I think it's outrageous, and I think it monopolizes individuals who are just seeking, support and medicine to treat their health ailments. I think it's absolutely outrageous. Well,
Sure.
that remains to be seen, and again, that's a conversation for another day. The board has also shared some of our concerns by way of funding even coming this way for some of the things that we would need in place, especially for youth. My concern is for youth and what kind of funds are going to come there from a recreational end, but that's not what I'm referring to tonight. What I'm talking about is the absolute fleecing of the residents of New Jersey who have medical marijuana cards. It's a downright sin. So I'm with you, and if there's anything that you would, anything that you would like us to consider as a board, let me know. But me personally, I'm with you. So if there's anything, that you'd like.
Dawn, if I could just, I
Yes.
didn't intend on talking about this, but there's an article, if you want to search it out on the internet, from the Association, I believe, of Atomic Engineers, which literally analyzed medical marijuana. And the marijuana gets put into a circular dryer, and the buds basically fall off, and that's worth more money. So some of what you're getting may not be the quality. Now, you'll have to go, look this up, but it was an article that I had read, and I don't know if you spent some time on the internet, you get some information, and I just happened to come across this, and I found it a fascinating article. You might want to just take a look at that.
What's the name of the article?
It's I think it was actually I think it was about the medical marijuana in New Jersey, but it was the Association of Atomic Scientists. They put out a journal, and for some reason I ended up logging into this thing and reading it. But since you brought that up, it's something you may want to look at.
One more thing, now you got me on a roll. The availability of products in the medical marijuana line that are available is also shameful in the state of New Jersey. When you think about the ailments that are treated by that, you have young individuals, you have children, who have pediatric cancer patients, you have individuals who are suffering from cancer who feel ill, who say that that the taste or the smell of marijuana in its basic form is not palatable, and exacerbates it, and it's a chore to even get that down. And the fact that there is not even a variety, and it would require some alteration from the end user to make it palatable, also is not acceptable.
Yeah, there's really no edibles for...
No. So anyhow, I digress. I know this isn't a meeting about medical marijuana, but I'm absolutely disgusted with how far New Jersey is along the continuum with that. I think it's causing a lot of unnecessary suffering for residents in the state. I was very happy, too. I know we tend to think that, there's two sides of a political coin, and it's this party thinks this and that party thinks that. Chris Christie was the governor that came out swinging and added medical conditions that were allowed to fall under that. So I don't see it as a partisan issue, medical marijuana. It's a human issue. We need access to that drug, and that's all. So, but thank you. All right, we do have just reminders. Please, again, check the county website at www.sussex.nj.us for meeting schedules. Again, we do plan to meet here moving forward unless the facility is not available to us for something at the college. I know that we are recording some videos for their virtual graduation. I actually come here tomorrow, and I'm recording our congratulations message to the graduates here tomorrow. So I do know that there was a little bit of confusion about some of the times, but the college really has committed to a vast majority of our meeting dates to be able to be held here, which is really great. And if we do, aren't going to host a live session under any circumstances, we'll give the public ample notice of that. So number 24, there is no executive session this evening. So that brings us to number 25, which is an adjournment.
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Nay. Okay, thank you all. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.